London this lunchtime to condemn the government's handling of the foot and mouth crisis. They're calling for a public inquiry, while Welsh Pool Livestock Market has reopened this morning to allow local farmers to send their animals to abattoirs. Now it's crunch time for 60 families living alongside a river near Newport. They've already seen part of their road at Caerleon disappear, and they fear high tides in the next few days could flood them out. Well, our chief reporter Andy Collinson is with them in Caerleon now. Andy.
Thanks, Ruth. Isker Road, just on the outskirts of Caerleon, a wonderful place to be. You've got the ancient town in the background. We've also got the River Usk flowing past us. Absolutely scenic spot. But when you get around to here, we've got a lot of fencing. We've got a danger keep out sign. And as you go behind the posts there, you can actually see the problem. The flood defence scheme, the actual wall, is collapsing underneath the weight of the flow of the river, causing great concern to the local community. Now, Lynn Gray, your local resident, what it's been like actually trying to get some action from the council?
It's been absolutely hopeless. We've tried all avenues and we're just getting pushed from pillar to post at the moment.
You've actually been trying, the council and the Environment Agency, they have got a joint project, but what, no work is present?
Nothing at all. Each are blaming each other for the finances involved and we're getting nowhere at all.
What does it feel like as a resident, as somebody who's waiting basically for high tide starting this evening, tomorrow night?
Well, it's a major threat to the properties. It's sewerage in the water. So even if we get a little bit of sewerage on the road, it's a health risk, plus the damage structurally to the homes and flood damage caused by the water coming in.
Just briefly, the Environment Agencies say they are monitoring the situation, they are doing what they can.
Oh yes, they come along with sandbags and watch the river go in and go out. But they can't physically do anything to stop the water at the moment.
Okay, Lynn, we're going to leave it there for the moment. Well, as I was saying, Environment Agency and indeed Newport Council both monitoring the situation. At present, they can't quite agree who should pay the cost and when the work should start. For now, though, residents are just holding their breath to see what the tide brings tonight and tomorrow. Back to the studio.
Andy, thank you.
Part of the road outside their homes has already been washed away. Now they're terrified their homes will be flooded. Well, our chief reporter Andy Collinson is with them in Caerleon now. Andy.
Juliet, as you're saying, they're about 2 hours before we get the high tide, causing very great concern. And here's the problem for the people living on this edge of Caerleon, where the actual flood wall has started slipping down into the mud. If you look at this location from the other side of the river, you can appreciate the problem because we've got a whole range of properties stretched along the riverbank. All of these residents now very concerned indeed. They could have flood difficulty, that they could have the undermining of the flood wall. If I show you the pictures of what things were like here last night, you'll appreciate how high the tide can actually get on this tidal stretch of the Usk, already lapping over the collapsed section of the wall. It's going to be a full ½ a metre higher when the tide comes in tonight. Well, one of the local residents who saw last night's events is Lynn Gray. Lynn, what was it actually like knowing how high that water was coming?
It was quite frightening. We didn't know what extent it was going to reach on the wall. There were people here from the Environment Agency, but we were all concerned about it.
And you're saying that it's not just the flood itself, it's also structural worries?
This is what we're worried about. The water was either side of the piece of wall that's loose, and we weren't sure whether it was going to break away, leaving a bigger hole, or what actually was going to happen.
Now, as far as getting action is concerned, you've had the council, you've had the Environment Agency trying to do something. Satisfied so far?
Not really. We haven't had anybody to talk to us as a group, but tonight we have got someone from the Environment Agency, which we're very pleased to have, and maybe we'll get some answers and see a way forward then.
Indeed. Well, Ron Clark from the Environment Agency is with us now. Obviously something that you, the agency, have also been concerned about.
We're very much concerned, and of course we do very much understand the concerns of the residents who no longer have the flood protection that they have become used to.
That having been said, obviously the worry's going on for some time. Why has it still not been fixed?
We are trying very, very hard to obtain a partnership between ourselves, between Newport County Council and also with the Assembly to ensure that we can finance the works.
OK, well, we'll let you get off to that meeting at the moment. If we have new developments, we'll come back to you before the end of the programme. For now, though, back to the studio.
Thank you, Andy. The battle
again tonight because the authorities haven't fixed their flood defences. Last time there was heavy rain, parts of the defences collapsed, opening up a huge hole in the road. Tonight's high tide in about an hour could cause further damage. Live to Rodri Lewis. Rodri.
Thanks very much indeed, Jamie. As you can see, it's a beautiful evening here at Caerleon on the River Usk. the perfect atmosphere, you might think, for relaxing. But unfortunately, a lot of local people don't feel like relaxing. They're very worried that tonight's high tide will further weaken the flood defences surrounding their home. They've already been damaged by earlier floods, as I've been finding out. It might seem like an idyllic setting, but there's a problem. 6 weeks ago, torrential rain combined with a high tide ripped away the flood wall here and much of the road. For Ellis Evans, whose house overlooks the hole, every high tide brings more worry. He's concerned that the water is getting underneath his house and could cause the whole building to collapse.
We're literally 5 yards at most away from this hole, and when you're when you go to bed at night, you're fundamentally overlooking it. So it's for real. I mean, this is very serious.
The hole is so big it's only just possible to pass along the road. Residents say the problem has been going on for 25 years. Though the wall has been patched up during that time, they say a whole new set of defences need to be built.
Having young children, I think the hole that we have there is a danger to children. There's a sign saying keep clear. There's not really anything to stop children going on there. There's also the danger of the flooding. If it does flood, the rubbish and muck that's going to be left on the road. Again, with young children, you can't keep them out of it.
There was a meeting, 9 months or a year ago. The whole thing was gone through. We had very good information as to what was going to be done. And, of course, nothing at all has been done about it.
The latest plan to repair the defences will cost £1.3 million, but there's no money available. Locals say that's not good enough, and that it's about time the problem is fixed once and for all. Well, I'm joined now by Lynn Gray, who's leading the campaign, and also by Ron Clark from the Environment Agency. Lynn Gray, how unhappy are you with the situation?
Extremely unhappy at the moment. We don't feel we're being kept up to date with what's happening by either the Council or the Environment Agency, but we have someone from the Environment Agency today that's putting in some light on the subject, but it's the fact that the water's still rising. We've got some high tides coming. It's not just a tide, it's whether it's going to precipitate the loosing of the piece of concrete that's already sort of free in the wall and cause further damage.
Now, this has been going on for quite a long time. I understand you've had very many promises made but not kept. How do you feel about that?
Well, we do feel let down, but we do understand it's all to do with finance. But we understand what's causing it, but we'd like to see it finished and finance be put in place, sorted out, and go ahead this time.
Ron Clark, thanks very much indeed. Ron Clark, can you tell me, what are you going to do about this?
Well, first of all, could I say that we very much sympathise with the residents who now no longer have the sort of flood defences that they were traditionally used to. What we are doing is we are trying to seek finance at the moment between the contributory parties. We have undertaken the design and we will be carrying out the works as soon as finance is available.
But people have been saying the problem has been going on for 25 years. When is it going to be solved?
The problem will be solved as soon as we are able to obtain the finance. We have done a great deal of work out here. We are monitoring the situation. We have men on site and we have undertaken temporary works both to prevent flooding and to stabilise the riverbank.
Thank you both very much indeed. And now back to you in the studio, Jamie.